Hello and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Minute of the Apes, where we break down we break down the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. There we go.
Yeah.
I warned everybody
you can do it.
I warned everybody the hangover might kind of screw with me, but I fought through it. I saw through and I conquered.
Wait, are you saying we record a week's worth of episodes on one day?
Okay, fine. You want to do that? You know, I said to Sean what I kind of enjoy is the moments where we talk. Sean and I have been friends for
longer
than I can imagine.
20 plus years.
But yes, we do. We record all of the week's episodes, usually on a Saturday or Sunday. We get together via Skype. We record. And by the way, I don't know if you could hear that. My beagle, who's in the room, is crying for her mother to let her out. So if y'all hear it, I don't have an ape locked in a cage somewhere. That was actually my beagle.
That's all right. Just as that happened, an airplane was flying over me. I live in a flight path.
He lives near enough, Love Field in
Yep.
Dallas?
Yep.
So, we basically do these all together, sitting together via Skype, and knocking them out as best we can in one day. So the effects of a hangover from last night will permeate throughout the whole week. So everybody just please.
Deal.
Yeah, please bear with
Be
me.
quiet. Keep it low. Keep it calm.
You know, you wake up and you think, okay, a couple cups of coffee. Then you think a couple of Tylenol. Then you think more coffee. So we're going to, beyond my stupid hangover stuff, we're going to jump into, I guess it's minute 32, correct?
Yep.
Begins with the locals staring down our intrepid astronauts and ends with a row of guns shooting at the fleeing hippie commune. So we have 3 astronauts, one dead one. We have one space raft poncho. Tons of local hippies with bad wigs and bunches of shooting guns from something that's chasing everybody.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it. Okay, what the hell was that roar and another weird zoom in on a tree that has nothing to do with the sound?
So, you know, once again, that's one of the fun things for me as we do this, Sean, is that you and I keep kind of latching on to the same things we see. And I know we're watching the same movie, but it really is. Was this a language of film production in the 60s that I don't know about?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand. I mean, the two have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
I mean, does this director just like zooming in on foliage?
Well, you know, the way I put it was that zooming in on trees has a dual effect. You either hear running water or screaming dragons because you get the sound behind it, almost like Ben Kenobi coming and scaring off the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
So when you push on a camera, you discover something new. I think that's what he's trying to build the visual language. And maybe as we watch this, we'll see more pushes.
We'll see it over and over again?
Yep. But this minute has just as much as of hiding the local hippies behind the corn as the previous minute.
I was starting to wonder if the sound is He Who Walks Behind the Rose from Children of the Corn.
I think I put that my notes for maybe one of the latter minutes was that, you know, what was that, Mordecai? Was that the...
Uh-huh.
I kept expecting Mordecai to run out and either save them or run them down.
So I remember when that movie came out, my dad, my sister, who is 5 years younger than me, and I went to go see it, and we had it was like 2 choices. We could have gone and seen that or some other movie. It was Poltergeist, I think, was out at the same time. And so my sister got to pick which one we saw, and I don't know why she picked Children of the Corn, but completely unironically, after the movie was over, we leave the theater, we call my mom. She didn't go with us for some reason, I can't remember why, but and my sister goes, my mom asked, well, how was the movie? And without any sense of irony, not even thinking about it, she goes, oh, it was kind of corny. And my dad and I just looked at each other. Yeah. Anyways, back to this movie.
Wait, hang on now, because you did the Price is Right sound. We need to do a Price is Right minute. Can you imagine breaking that down?
That would never end.
How many years of it? But
how many? It would all be all right. Is this guy drunk or high? Drunk or high?
It's still my favorite game show of all time. I can't help
Oh,
myself.
Plinko. Give me some Plinko, mother.
But we digress.
Yeah.
So we get
Okay,
more.
so if I heard that roar
Mhm.
and I saw everybody running, I'd start moving much faster, but they just stand there like 17 seconds. I timed it out, and then they start moving.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice it was that long of a delay. I did
Yeah,
kind of notice
because I went back and back, and like they were just watching these people. They hear a weird noise. They see the entire native population that they assume means everybody on the world does this, and they book it, and they just stand there watching for 17 seconds.
Well, okay, so we digress to the truth that we've said 1,000 times. These are possibly the single worst trained astronauts that have ever existed
Mm-hmm.
to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
We do get an incredibly good shot of the space poncho, and I am 100% convinced now it is the dinghy. When you start looking at it, it has that look of a raft. But are you so worried about your wiener showing that you put a dinghy over yourself? And why put it over like a poncho? Because it's hot out there, and that's going to make you sweat.
You put a dinghy over your dinghy?
Yeah.
Heyo.
That was a good one, Sean.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, why not make a space panty out of it?
Yeah.
And speaking of panties, I didn't even mean to transition for this. Apparently, the locals have undies because there's a shot where a local's carrying a child, and if you look now, not that I want to see a child's,
Dinghy?
yeah, but you can see this. Excuse me, this local is carrying a child as they run through the corn, and if you look, it almost pops out to me that the kid is obviously wearing like Hanes underwear.
Mm-hmm.
So the locals wear Hanes underwear, but ANSA could not afford to give them space panties. They had to strip
Yeah.
shit off and go naked and get man buns.
Yep.
Well, the
I don't
locals'
know.
budget for undies is much higher than ANSA's.
And we also have the conveniently high vegetation again, where it's short enough for to see the humanoids, but then tall enough to completely cover whoever's swinging the sticks.
True, and because you did this one, just like the panties before, you've set up my next comment, which was that for the production of it to grow a wild crop of corn, they planted a special breed of corn that was known to grow quickly. However, according to the Planet of the Apes wiki, it grew quickly over the 6 foot height that they had asked for it to grow, and they had to cut it down. Now, I'm a little dubious of that, just having grown up in an area where corn is so abundant.
Mm-hmm.
If you cut off corn, and I don't believe that you quickly get corn at the end of the stalk again. So I don't know if that's true, but according to this, they freaked out about the height of it. So apparently they were very precise on how high they wanted that corn to be.
I wonder if Field of Dreams took any notes from it.
Well, either that or to harken back, the children of the corn. Do you go with the production notes? How did Planet of the Apes grow it? That's how we do it.
All right, so I'm calling it. I went back and looked. I paused it, and at 31:53, you can actually see apes on horseback. So I finally have apes in this movie.
Well, and you do get the swinging rods, which if you look very careful, the corn will move just enough to where you can see a little bit of a gorilla face, just a little bit.
Just a little. All right, so we can officially say we now have apes in this movie.
They are there, and I do think that I many times in this we've broken it down to talk about the filmmaking aspect, and I think just as much as it was refreshing when you watch this, and there'll be long moments where nothing happens and you're just seeing vistas and it's establishing things. I think the shot of the swinging sticks and the sound of whoosh, 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 it's a beautiful tease. Something's there, something's coming. That's a scary sound. Whether it be that it evokes, your grandmother coming at you with a switch or whatever it may be. But it's perfect. I love that moment.
Yeah, Meemaw's coming at me whenever it's bad.
Well, Meemaw usually made me go get my own switch, so that also brings up a production note I found, which was that Arthur B. Jacobs, our producer, was very intent on not having the apes on screen until about the 30-minute mark. He
did a good job of that.
Well, he said there were, apparently there were drafts at the first where the ape showed up before, but his exact comment was he felt it was a device that worked well in building suspense for King Kong, so why not do it here?
If you're going to reference an ape movie, that's the one to go to.
Yeah, and if you go into like Sid Field's breaking down of screenplay writing, you're always supposed to, at the 30-minute mark, do something that changes the aspect completely. So the fact that we have apes swinging switches is pretty scary, pretty game-changing.
They've got some good, they've got some nice saddles, bridles, guns, gloves. They are very intelligent.
Well, and I mean, those guns that shoot at them, the design of that gun it's rather odd because it looks primitive, but at the same time, the fact that they would have developed a gun says they're not primitive.
I'm not a gun aficionado, but somebody out there probably knows exactly what that design is, and I'm sure 1,000 years into the future to not change a gun design at all would be very interesting.
Well, you're making
I'm
the leap
assuming,
of faith that they're taking technology that already exists. They could have built that themselves. We don't know what planet we're on because, as Taylor tells us all the time, it's not so important where, but when. So who knows how they got guns, but they got guns.
Yo no say.
Yo no say. You got anything else, man?
No, that does it for me.
I'm looking. I think we covered everything. So let's cue the music, Todd. I cued the music. There it is. Everybody, we appreciate you showing up for another little bit of our Minute of the Apes podcast. If you want to find us, go to our website, minuteoftheapes.com. You can find all the links to everything you need. For my friend Sean, I'm Todd. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.